The moment those words left his mouth, the entire venue completely lost control. Standing beside the rink with one hand resting lightly on the barrier, Ryuichi Kihara casually let out a comment that instantly changed the atmosphere in the room. Fans froze for a second before the audience exploded with shocked reactions. Wait, did he really just say that? That sounded way too much like a boyfriend comment. Voices echoed through the venue while standing right beside him. Miura immediately lowered her face and burst into embarrassed laughter. What should have been an ordinary talk event suddenly turned into pure chaos for figure skating fans everywhere. The pair known around the world as Ryukyu have never been loved only for their performances on the ice. Of course, their world-class skating ability is undeniable, but what truly captures people's hearts is the warm and natural atmosphere they create together. Whether they are practicing, competing, or simply answering interview questions, the two always carry a quiet comfort around each other that fans cannot stop talking about. But this time, it wasn't their skating that caused an explosion online. It was one single sentence from Kihara that completely destroyed the audience in the best possible way. That day, the pair appeared at a special talk event reflecting on their season. The mood was relaxed, cheerful, and full of laughter as they answered questions from the host. At one point, the MC smiled toward Miura and said, "Riku really has become incredibly popular lately, hasn't she?" The audience immediately responded with loud applause while Miura shyly laughed and replied, No, not at all. Everything felt normal until the next second." Holding the microphone beside her, Kihara suddenly smirked and quietly said, "Lately everyone's only looking at Riku." The room instantly went silent. For one full second, nobody moved. Then the entire venue exploded. Screams, laughter, and shocked reactions erupted everywhere. Before anyone could recover, Kihara delivered the finishing blow with a playful smile. "I want people to look at me sometimes too." That was it. Absolute chaos. The comment was obviously half joking, but the way he said it felt far too natural, far too real. The delivery carried the exact kind of playful jealousy fans never expected to hear so openly. The audience completely collapsed into laughter, while even the staff members on stage struggled to hold themselves together. The event briefly became impossible to continue because nobody could stop reacting. But the true destruction came from Miura's response. The moment she heard Kihara's words, her face turned bright red almost instantly. Laughing nervously, she tried to hide her embarrassment while lightly hitting his shoulder as if telling him to stop talking. The reaction looked so natural and genuine that fans immediately lost their minds. Social media exploded within minutes of the event ending. Was that jealousy? They're basically married at this point. Their chemistry is unreal. Riku's embarrassed reaction looked way too genuine. "I can't survive this." Comments flooded every platform at insane speed, and the phrase "Ryukyu is too precious" began spreading everywhere among skating fans. But what truly touched people was not simply the teasing itself. Fans love Ryukyu because their relationship has always been built on years of quiet trust and mutual support. They were never the flashy type constantly trying to attract attention. Instead, they slowly climbed to the top of the figure skating world together through patience, sacrifice, and complete trust in one another. That is exactly why moments like this hit so hard. Nothing about their interaction felt forced. It felt real. Over the years, Kihara has repeatedly spoken about how much he trusts Miura. In interviews, he often describes her as hardworking, dependable, and someone who constantly pushes herself beyond her limits. Meanwhile, Miura has openly said many times that having Kihara beside her gives her confidence and peace of mind. She has admitted that simply knowing he is there helps her stay calm under pressure. Their respect for each other has always been obvious, even without dramatic words. That is why Kihara's "jealous" comment resonated so strongly with fans. It did not feel like a scripted joke for entertainment. It felt like a small glimpse into how much he genuinely treasures his partner. What made the moment even more powerful was Kihara's expression afterward. He laughed while saying it, but there was also a slight embarrassment on his face, almost as if part of the comment carried a real feeling hidden underneath the humor. He never overplayed it. He never exaggerated. That subtle balance between joking and sincerity pushed fans completely over the edge. And somehow, things became even worse later in the event. At another point, the host jokingly commented, "Kihara-san, you really watch Riku closely, don't you?" After a short pause, Kihara simply smiled and answered, "Well, I can't help it." The audience erupted again. Miura immediately covered her face while laughing and begged everyone to stop. Fans screamed from the crowd while the atmosphere dissolved into complete chaos once more. Every single moment felt dangerously adorable. Still, the reason Ryukyu continues to receive so much love goes far beyond these cute interactions. Their journey together has been filled with enormous struggles. Injuries, pressure, expectations, and the burden of representing Japan on the world stage have tested them again and again. Yet through every setback, they continued moving forward together. That is why fans understand something important. Behind those soft smiles and playful conversations exists an unbelievable amount of hard work and emotional support. Kihara once admitted during an interview that Miura pushes herself so hard that he constantly worries about whether she is overworking herself. Even that small statement revealed how carefully he watches over her as both a partner and teammate. Miura has shared similar feelings herself. She once explained that Kihara notices immediately whenever she feels anxious or overwhelmed, even before she says anything out loud. That kind of connection cannot be created overnight. It comes only from years of trust, communication, and standing beside each other through every difficult moment. And perhaps that is exactly why their performances feel so special on the ice. Even during the most dangerous lifts or difficult technical elements, there is always a visible sense of calm between them. Their timing feels effortless. Their movements connect perfectly. It looks less like two athletes performing separate actions and more like two people breathing together naturally. That bond is what fans witnessed again during this unforgettable event. On the ice, Ryukyu are world-class athletes competing against the best skaters on Earth. But off the ice, they become something even more lovable, two people who genuinely enjoy being around each other. They laugh together naturally. They tease each other effortlessly. And somehow, even the smallest exchange between them becomes enough to send an entire fandom into emotional collapse. Was Kihara serious? Was he joking? Nobody truly knows. But one thing was impossible to deny. The smile on Miura's face after hearing his words looked genuinely happy. And in that moment, the entire venue felt wrapped inside that warmth with them. Even after the event ended, fans could not stop talking about it online. Watching Ryukyu makes me happy. Their atmosphere is dangerously precious. Kihara's jealousy was way too cute. Riku's embarrassed face took years off my life. At this point, their talk events are more deadly than their performances. The reactions continued flooding social media long into the night. Of course, Ryukyu will continue facing intense battles as elite athletes competing at the highest level of figure skating. But perhaps that is exactly why moments like these feel so valuable to fans. Behind the medals and pressure are two people whose natural connection continues to shine brighter than anything else. Beautiful on the ice, precious off the ice. And after this event, fans everywhere were left thinking the exact same thing once again. Please stop making us love you even more. Because at this point, nobody can survive it anymore.